We've come to Nissan Motorsport in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne to look at their V8 Supercars. Rick Kelly, this is your car.
Certainly is.
But I want to know how you and the team made it.
Yeah, well, look, let's go and have a look around. Here at Nissan Motorsport, everything's basically designed and manufactured in-house and then assembled here in the general workshop into a full race car like you see it now. But there's a lot of different departments and a lot to see, so let's go have a look. We're standing in the fabrication shop here at Nissan Motorsport, and these guys produce all of the gear that we bolt on the car, but also the race car. So we've got two jigs behind us, and this is actually our fifth chassis just getting prepared for the season as a spare. So we've got front suspension here, you see the main roll hoop behind us, and then the rear suspension sort of pickup points at the back of the car. So these guys have been very busy over the last almost 12 months producing all of the race cars that we currently race in the V8 Supercar category, and all the components, whether it's exhaust and so on, for the race car. So in the next few weeks, once we settle down, I'm making all the spare parts. I'll go back to finishing this chassis. And James, how many weeks to finish the chassis? About 6 weeks from what you see there to a chassis ready to go into the paint shop to be painted, and then to the new car build area to be assembled. So it does look like a little bit of a scrap metal pile at the moment, but quite quickly can turn into a race car.
Perfect, as long as you guys know what you're doing. So this is what puts the V8 in the V8 Supercars. Talk me through your engine. Yeah,
exactly. This is the heart of the V8 Supercar for us. It's a brand new engine that we've built and developed for the start of the 2013 championship. It's actually a Nissan VK56DE. And the guys have spent, like I say, the last sort of 12 months designing a lot of the componentry for this and manufacturing it. The standard engine actually finds itself in the Nissan Petrol, sold all around the world, so really quite relevant to the road car, the engine that we run in the V8 Supercar. A lot of the components, like obviously all the carbon fibre, the covers and oil pump and so on, is actually a bit of an aftermarket part that we actually, like I say, design and build exactly for what we need inside the V8 Supercar. But very nice engine, obviously a little bit higher technology and more modern than a couple of the other manufacturers in V8 Supercars, and a little bit more relevant to the road car like I touched on. So for us that's actually pretty good, and it looks great as well. I mean, a lot of billet aluminium, carbon fibre, all the stuff that makes it look nice and shiny when you bolt it in.
You mentioned the similarities with the road car. How important is that in the V8 Supercars to have that relevance to the road car?
Well, I think it's critical for us and manufacturer support and for the whole category, because the fans that come along and watch us on the road, they want to come along and support the manufacturer that provides them, or that they've purchased a car that they drive every day, you know. And for us, Nissan sell 85-90,000 cars, new cars in Australia each year, so there's a lot of general fans out there that drive Nissan, so they can now come along to the race and support us who drive the same car. Same with I guess the other manufacturers. AMG is a little bit new, but Ford and Holden has certainly been a fantastic rivalry over the last 10 or 15 years within the category. So the last few months that we've started our championship, we've started to see a lot of new people pour in the gates that haven't been attending V8s before, just because of the new manufacturers. So it's very important to have it relevant.
Well, it looks pretty clean, shiny and new, so hopefully it can help you go nice and fast.
This engine's never been in a car before. It's one of our new spares, so hopefully we can keep it that clean.
So when you prang your car, this is where you head?
Yeah, exactly. It takes about 50 hours to build a front spoiler alone, which is the mould, the big red one you see on the desk over there. And it takes us about 1 to 2/10 of a second to destroy it. But look, we obviously try not to do that. But this is a composite shop. A lot of the components on the car these days is made out of obviously fiberglass, but more so Kevlar or carbon fibre. The green thing you see behind us there is actually the lower section of the intake that we saw on the engine before, the carbon fibre section. So we use a technique in our composite shop called resin infusion. So all the material is actually laid over the mould without resin in it at all, and then we actually wrap it with the material you see there, and then a vacuum bag over the top, and then suck the resin through the part, and that gives us the minimum amount of resin that's required to wet the part out. And quite an interesting technique, reasonably new, only come around really in the last few years. So once that part's finished, the resin will be set, and then we'll trim it up and it'll be assembled and put into the engine.
Perfect, so lots of arts and crafts going on in there, we can see. Rick, thank you so much for the tour of your factory.
No, my pleasure. Well, there's a fair bit that goes on into obviously racing and building a V8 Supercar, so it's been very good to show you around. At the moment we've got 70 staff to build and compile the cars and go racing, so it's quite a big venture, but we enjoy every second of it.
Well, I feel like I might know a little bit more about it, so if you're looking for a mechanic, I'm willing to move to Australia.
Or driver?
No, let's take small steps, small steps.
All right, well we can start by de-stickering that car if you like.
No.
The body shell has been dipped in an acid bath to remove all the paint, and the raw steel in the moisture and the air rusts very quickly, so it does give it its rather mottled effect, but once it's painted it'll look lovely. We cut away all the parts of the car that we don't want, the weak points. So there are elements here which are the wheel arches. We cut those away because they're a bit weak, and we replace them with these much stronger steel pickup points for the suspension. And as you can see, we had the roll cage in here to stop the suspension turrets from moving together.